Good morning and welcome to the Land Grant Seminar Series. Sorry for the late start. Had some technical issues that our colleagues were able to take care of. So I guess for the fall schedule, we are full right now. So hopefully, I guess we even have some extra people who would like to speak. So if you have one speaker in mind, or if you're interested in something, let us know. We can take for the spring. So take your book your place right now for your speaker to make sure that is part of the spring semester seminar series. With that said, I think it's my pleasure today to introduce to you Dr. Jacqueline Sanders. She is the Interim Associate Dean for Academic Programs, Assistant Professor and Extension Specialist with the Wellness in Houston program. In her role as an Extension Specialist, she collaborates closely with program coordinators to streamline outreach programs, identify and enhance signature initiatives, and develop innovative community resources, including creating the Wellness in Houston Emergency Preparedness Cookbook, which provides family with practical strategies to maintain nutrition and wellness during challenging times. You know, we are prone to hurricanes and other natural disasters, so it's good to have those in mind. She's also the creator of the Rhythm of the Heart curriculum, which stems from her doctoral dissertation research. Dr. Sanders coordinates the Kaffner Mentor Collective program, where she helps students strengthen leadership skills and build connections that enhances their academic success, which she speak on during this session. So she will be giving us more information about that program. She's also proudly served as the primary advisor of the Kappa Omicron Nu Honors Society and secondary advisor for the Student Academic Nutrition and Dietetics SAND student organization. Outside of her work at the university, she is deeply committed to community service across all her roles. Her mission maintains the same: to empower individuals and community through education, mentorship, and health awareness so they can lead healthier, more fruitful lives. With that, I would like to welcome her. She's going to be talking about building a culture of mentorship to support a sense of belonging, academic success, and student retention. Dr. Sanders.
Thank you, Dr. Ferry.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you all for being here today. It's great to see so many faces in the room. And whoever's online, my students, I ask you to log in today if your time permits. So students, please put your name in the chat so that I could capture your attendance. So today, everyone, I'm wanting to talk with you about how we can build a culture of mentorship through a program that I was introduced to in 2022. So this program, I was in the room at an Ag Discovery Symposium, and it was presented by the 1890 Center of Excellence for Student Success in Workforce Development. And with this program, they discussed their mentorship initiative. So it was presented by Dr. Nina Bennett. She's the lead of this project, and she's from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So in the room, I'm looking at the screen, and she's presenting how this mentorship program has been in 9 universities, land-grant universities, and Prairie View A&M was not there. So after her presentation, I approached her and I said, ma'am, Prairie View A&M University is not on that screen. How can we change that? And she said, you know, there may be an opportunity. And I said, okay, tell me more, because I want to be a part of this program because I see the need at PV and how our students could benefit from this program. So needless to say, we talked about it because this symposium was in May, And by fall, we were implementing it within our college. So I was very, very grateful for this opportunity. And we've had this program within the college for the last 3 years. So a lot of you do not know that. And so this is why I found it to be very, very beneficial to provide a presentation on that. Now, originally, I invited Dr. Bennett to come in for this session to speak to you all about that, but reasons beyond her control, she had a family emergency and was not able to attend. So I am here in her stead. So with this program, the 1890 Center for Excellence in Workforce Development have partnered with Mentor Collective. Mentor Collective is like a national dashboard or program that kind of helps to monitor and provide data for these universities so that we can really see the success of our students, what our students need, and how we can make changes within our program to benefit our students. Give me a second. And so with each of these universities, they have the opportunity to kind of implement what they feel best will work for their students across all of these universities. So the mentorship programs may look different across or should look different because it's based on that university's campus. So what does this look like? So at each university, they are able to kind of design how that program should look for their campus. For our campus, and because of when or the timeline in which it was introduced to me, it was right after COVID. So right after COVID, we were experiencing a number of students that were online their senior year, online their freshman year of college. So we found some challenges in students just having a sense of belonging or feeling connected to the university that they're now a part of. And so with that, my goal was to think about those incoming freshmen and transfer students into the university. And then figuring out who could be their mentor or who could they connect with that will kind of help them get acclimated, kind of help them feel like they have someone that they can connect to on the campus. So we invited the mentors first. So the mentors became the second year sophomore, junior, and senior level students for that first year. The mentees were the first time freshmen and transfer students into the university. So we implemented this program for the first year, and then we had the option to move to a career program. So the career program focused on our junior, senior level students and graduate students, but we kind of later added the graduate students. So we invited the mentors starting in July through August, invited the mentees right after we kind of launched that. And then the students actually go through a matching process, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. And then there was a continual mentorship from August through May, through the end of the academic year, and up until the program end. So when it comes to matching, our students have the opportunity to kind of fill out a survey. So in the survey, the students talk about or they select what's important to them. It's pretty much creating a profile, their likes, their dislikes, what they need, what their interests are, and what they're looking for in a mentor. So in the matching survey, the students do that, or the mentees do that, and the mentors do that, okay? And so the system is designed to where students are automatically or randomly assigned a mentor of like interests. So the survey asks about their academic interests, their career experiences or goals, their life experiences, their hobbies, their interests, and more. So we used a unique model of both algorithms and matching specialists to actually establish the strongest matches. And we process those priorities to what the actual mentee would like. So this is just a kind of a depiction of how the students, the actual survey in which the students will see on their side. Today, when we think about the history of our program within the college, we saw that in 2022, it was a slow start because it was a slow introduction to this program, to the college and to the students. And we had about 20 students matched that first year. We had about 12 mentors. So of the students that actually responded to the survey, 12 of them actually were matched with those 20 students. They logged 68 conversations, which means this is the way that they connect with the students in various forms. And then, of course, that's about 3.4 mentees per mentor, okay? In 2023 to 24, we saw a little rise in the amount of students that were participating in this program. So 28 students matched, 19 mentors, and then 70 conversations logged. So we saw a little bit of an increase that second year. And of course, through this, we're making some gradual changes to how we update the survey from the results of the previous year. What do we need to implement? What do we need to add? Last year, we were up to at least 45. And this is just our peer mentoring program, not the career. And so for the peer mentoring program, we got a little bit more participation from our freshman students. We saw 17 mentors matched with them, and we saw a large number of conversations being logged over that time. Okay, excuse me. And so for our conversation and pair matching, 2.87 mentors matched per mentee. So our mentors, they actually go through a training. So once they're matched, the mentees do their survey, the mentors do their survey, and the mentors actually go through a training through the dashboard. So they have ongoing, on-demand trainings that actually connect them with university resources. So they understand how to provide assistance, they understand how to help their mentor if they have a concern or a need. So it's not that they're out there by themselves trying to figure it out. They actually have resources that they can go to help them. So once they complete their survey, mentees and mentors, they actually get matched. So through the system and on the mentor's dashboard, they will be notified when they have been matched with a student. So this kind of, whoops, what did I do?
Oh, yeah,
There we go. So as you can see here, thought there was a little, this particular person has been matched with at least 3 mentees. So this is their way to kind of log in, get an idea of their mentee, look at their likes and interests, and what's beneficial to them. And they connect. They are able to connect with them in a number of ways. It could be the text relay system that is built in place for the mentorship program. It could be that they send an email, they decide to meet with them for lunch on campus somewhere, so they can do this. And for the peer program, they are to meet with their mentee at least 3 times a week. Meet meaning just check in. Hey, just checking in with you. If you have any concerns, how's things going? It's just a way for them to stay connected. Through those relationships, as they build those relationships, it's very, very important for the mentor to understand when something's off, right? So this is going back to like our sense of belonging. Why do students feel comfortable being here? And when things are happening with them, are they getting the assistance that they need? So our mentors are able to raise flags. So the power of flags help alert administrators when a mentee is experiencing a challenge. A lot of our students go through challenges. They go through periods of not knowing who to come to, who to connect with, and sometimes we see that they keep things to themselves. and fall off the face of the earth. It's like, where do they go? Have you seen them? Have you heard from them? So through this program, it enables them to stay connected with someone that can say, hey, as a mentor, I'm gonna raise a flag. Some of the most common flags that we see is that students experience academic struggles. They consider switching majors. They may be going through a period of depression. They are considering dropping out, have family conflicts, financial problems. They're homesick, have some housing or food insecurity concerns, romantic conflicts, severe anxiety, or they're transferring from a school or considering transferring to another school. Most of them are academic struggles, housing, food insecurity, or it could be that the fact that they are leaving home for the first time, haven't really felt anyone to connect with here on campus, and don't even know where to begin. At this time, when I implemented this program, because of the transition to college from COVID, it was a lot of homesick and not feeling connected. Like they didn't know who to go to, who to contact. COVID was still pretty out there and just trying to find ways to get connected with someone. So we saw a lot of depression and, just having that mentor there to kind of coach you through that really kind of helped a lot of those students actually stay connected to the program and to the college. A good example I would say here, when we think about how students or our mentors can raise flags, it can be anything. So if you have resources, if the mentors have resources in which they can click on and it kind of tells them what they can do in the dashboard, but actually having an administrator call them afterwards once they submit a flag and kind of coach them through how to talk to that mentee, it's more beneficial to come from the mentor, if that makes sense, right? A good example, and I'm gonna use my daughter for example, and in this scenario. So this is the start of the academic year, and my daughter called and she was like, Mom, I have 16 assignments due this week. It's the first week of school. And I said, I'm sure it's not that bad. And so she said, it is bad. It's 16 assignments that is due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, right? And I said, okay, that's okay. But it can't be that bad. I'm sure it's just about you introducing yourself, right? I don't know. I haven't looked at the assignments. All she saw was the number. And I said, it can't be that bad. It's not that bad. And she was like, but Mom, that's just overwhelming to me. That's too much for the first year. And I said, okay. For the first week of classes. And I said, okay, well, if you actually take a look at the assignments and actually see how detailed the work is going to be, I'm sure they didn't give you a project the first week of classes. And so she kind of took a look at that and I was like, why don't you check out the assignments, do what you can do, but complete all the assignments and, reshift and refocus and get it done. And that's just me being mom. Is it that bad? Seriously? Did you actually take a look at it a little bit more? But I was thinking about that in regards to how students, especially incoming freshmen, process stuff, right? That's overwhelming to them. Even when I was trying to transfer information over to my classes this semester, I got so many emails. Can I get an extension on this project? You don't have to do a project. Just give me time to update my Canvas, So students get overwhelmed really, really quick, especially if they feel like they're not in control. So if I was a mentor and a student raised this concern to me, I would have the mentor flag it, academic struggles. And so this flag would alert me to kind of take a look at that and say, okay, so how did you approach this situation? What did you do? What did you say to the mentee? And so if they haven't responded to the mentor, then I would coach them on how to respond. and just make sure the mentee has the correct resources, okay? It could be something even as severe as your mentee having some health concerns. They don't know how to connect with people on campus. They sent out an email, they're waiting on a response, but now anxiety is setting in because no one's responded to them yet. So how do you coach them through, okay, well, let's see what we can do. It could be a matter of, okay, well, meet me over at this office and I'll help you with that. It can be something as simple as that. But if they feel like they have someone that understands them, someone that they build a rapport with, and someone that has insight on how they can get the resources they need, they are more prone to stay connected to the campus, to the college. And that's the goal, for them to have some type of sense of belonging. So all of these are important. And if we see some other things that students are struggling with, we can add them. So it is very customizable to what we're experiencing on our campus. So this is great. So again, students communicate through whatever channel works best for the student. Text messaging, email, Meetup. And I've actually implemented last year, trying to have meetups with the students so that we can actually check in. How's things going? What concerns are you having with your mentee, or what concerns are you having with your mentor? So throughout this program, I've probably only had about 3 to 5 flags that were easily solvable. And that's because of the training the mentors received or their connection to me, to where I can coach them through how to handle those situations. Now, creating those meet and greets, it also allowed me the opportunity to figure out what wasn't working in this program. And so what we missed was, what happens when the mentee completely stops responding? What do we do? How do we know? There's not a flag for that. We can actually put it under other, but that was something that came out of my last meet and greet. So how long has it been? Oh, about 3 to 4 months. Really? Well, that's the whole semester, right? So what did you do in the meantime? Well, I just kept trying to reach out. They just never responded. That's a concern. So why? Is it because they're not connected with the mentor anymore? Do they have some life event going on? Because life be lifing. Life be lifing. So how do we make sure that our students actually stay connected? They stay within the college, they feel welcome, they feel like they can come to us as instructors, their mentor, or even get connected with resources and clubs and student organizations within the college. We want to make sure that they stay connected and they feel welcome. So again, this is the dashboard. It talks about introductions and setting expectations. You want to make it clear, being a mentor, what your role is, and then how you can support and be beneficial to the mentee. Set your boundaries. Don't be texting me at 12 a.m., 11:59, whatever the case might be. You want to make sure that those boundaries are set so that the student knows if it's an absolutely emergency, that's when I know it's an emergency. But we can't start this off where you're just contacting me at random times, right? Set your boundaries. Tips for sending that first message to the mentee. Your academic expectations while in college, academic integrity, any affinity groups, and the resources are endless on this dashboard for the mentor. So the Mentorship Connect initiative goal is to create that culture of mentorship. So build a culture of mentorship at PV for all students to close the opportunity gap and increase access to meaningful relationships for all students. We want to be able to retain. So our goal is to grow this college, grow, okay? So we have to first figure out what's happening with our students. Every year, we have a new cohort of students. Students come from all backgrounds, and we know this, right? So how do we connect with students of today and ensure that they feel supported. They feel like they can do this. They feel like they have a connection to a family in which that'll help them grow, right? So we have to think about that. And so this program has helped us to retain students. We create impact on retention and sense of belonging with increased support through peer mentorship, as well as increased career readiness for our students. That's how we retain them. They have to feel like there's room for improvement, there's room for them to grow. They have an outlook on what their future will hold, okay? So we have to make sure we create that for them. And then impact insights. So we want to make sure that we're gaining insight into participants and key retention indicators, like coming from them. What was their experience? And how can we retain them? What can we do better to make sure that our students are being heard? They feel like there's an highlight on them, just easy recognition. Just that's all it takes, is just being recognized for what they are doing. And how can we be proactive at making sure that they are being heard? So when we think about this, and we think about our college and this program within our college, this is what we find. So of the top, these are the top 5 participating concentration areas: nutrition, animal and food science, pre-vet, agribusiness, and agriculture. Now, these are not our concentration, all of our correct concentration areas. So what they found is that students actually just typed in their concentration area. And a lot of them just put agriculture. One of the things that I know we need to work on as a college is making sure our students understand what their major is, be as in agriculture or be as in human nutrition and food. Agribusiness is not their major. Nutrition is not their major, it's human nutrition and food. So getting them to understand that, and then making sure that they are familiar with what's considered a concentration area, is going to be really, really important. And it's just a matter of just restating that over and over again. No, your major is this, et cetera, et cetera. We also saw that when it came to life experiences for our students, 21 worked a job during school, grew up in a single parent household, about 12, had a death of a friend or family member, 9, cared for a family member, switched majors, 8, had difficulty getting along with family, had parents that separated, struggled with debt, and supported by their family financially. So these are some of the life experiences of our students. And then some of the top 5 Mentee goals are listed there too. Hope you guys can see that. So the top 1, their goals, the Mentee goals, was to succeed in their classes. They want to make sure that they pass their classes. Next was they developed a healthy balance between school and their other commitments. What we see is that our students overcommit. They want to be involved in a lot of those student clubs and organizations. And so I often talk with them about, okay, what is the most important? Which one is most important to you? You don't want to just be on a roster. You want to be able to provide insight, be able to participate, and be in a leadership role, serve on e-board. You know, not just be on there by name, but actually serve. You know, that's very, very important. Next was develop networking skills and experience. Get involved in campus events, student clubs, and orgs, and then get an internship was 11.4%. That was their last goal. I think using that, we need to kind of increase that number. Getting an internship, getting a job post-graduation, or being ready for a job post-graduation should be one of the top priorities. So this is where we are now. How are we going to get there? Okay. So our student traits, 45% are interested in studying abroad. 24% were first-year or first-generation students. 38% were interested in Greek life. 10% were student athletes. And 24% were unsure about their career. This is what we're seeing with students within our college. Okay. How can we improve those numbers? So we improve it by making sure students are getting connected with a mentor. We have to figure out a way to kind of help them, help guide them. So students, if you're looking at this, let me go back and mention. So, did I have it on there? I have it here. So I'll go back to that. We want to make sure that we're assessing student impact. And through this platform, Mentor Collective, it provides the opportunity to formally assess students at multiple stages throughout the program through surveys. These students are constantly being tapped into through this program. So we send out surveys. We're assessing where they are. We're assessing at the beginning and at the end of the program so that we know how to improve the program. So we actively monitor how students are feeling on campus. We track responses at key points in the student's journey. We are able to quickly identify students who may need extra support, and we utilize insights to proactively meet the student's needs. This is to help create that sense of belonging, feelings of being valued, included, and accepted on campus, improving academic self-efficacy. So the belief in the ability to successfully complete academic tasks and academic help seeking, just that ability to identify a need for academic help and independently seek it. That's our goal for this program. What we saw over the last year is that our students have gradually increased and are doing very, very well, the ones that are participating in this program. At the start of the program, which is where you see the yellow to the green, how they're performing. So performance-wise, with those students that are within this program, they are doing very well when it comes to feeling that sense of belonging within the college or within the campus. Academic help seeking, they've done really well as academic self-efficacy. From the start of the program, it seemed to be a little bit low when it comes to self-efficacy, but now they're doing really well. They feel very confident in where they should go, what they need to do, and so forth. So we want to create this across the university. Here are some participant feedback just from participating in this program, coming from our peer mentees, our peer mentors, and our career mentees. And so just to point out one or two, this peer mentor said, I am inspired to become a mentor because when I was a freshman, I found it very helpful to have mentors of my own. And I believe I can provide that same use of mentorship for my mentees. The career mentee, I want to connect with the mentor to learn how to balance work and school, how to prepare for grad school, how to budget, and effectively study. So this is important. These are just some things that came from the surveys that we do throughout the program, and this was probably at the end of the program. For 2025-2026 year, this academic year, we've made some changes. So every year we reassess, we figure out what worked, what did not work. We look at the student feedback and figure out how we can tailor our program. So this year, our Panther to Panther, or our peer-to-peer program, will focus on our second year sophomores and transfer students. So there's a shift here only because we're rolling out a new initiative across the university. And then our career mentor program will focus on our junior, senior, and graduate level students. So this is something that was kind of implemented last year, didn't really take off, but now we're at the start of the semester. We want to make sure our graduate students are included, especially since our graduate programs are up and running. We want to make sure that those graduate students are connected to this mentorship initiative as well. So what does this look like? So for our second year and transfer students, those mentors will be our junior, senior, graduate level students. So it's still that peer-to-peer connection. Our career mentors will be our faculty, staff, alumni, and industry leaders. So that's the goal. So we want our junior, senior, graduate level students to start focusing on life beyond college, we want to make sure that they're connected with people that'll help them get there. So our faculty, our staff, our alumni, and any industry leaders that have the opportunity or have the resources or manpower to serve as a mentor, they are able to participate in this program for our students. So it's an easy way to get connected. Now the connection, the communication is like once a week or once a month, every 2 weeks, whatever you decide, okay? So it's very open for the career level. But the mentee, that peer-to-peer program, we need constant contact with those students to make sure that they feel connected and welcome. Also, one of the reasons for this shift is that now this program will be rolled out across the university. So I was able to get a grant with the Association of Public Land-Grant Universities that has a connection with Mentor Collective. And this was an awesome opportunity to roll it out. So there was a lot of students that attended sessions that sat in the room and they heard about this program and it was like, how can I get connected? And at first it was, I'm sorry, it's only for the College of Ag. They didn't like hearing that. So now they have an opportunity to tap into this program. But even at the university level, we were focusing on 2,200 incoming freshmen and getting them connected to a mentor. And so our START mentors are the P3s, the PALs, the BELs, and the BOWs. And we're thinking about adding other orgs like the honors program, and then any student that may have a will or want to be a mentor to this incoming class of freshmen across the university. So this is the first step of adding that mentor program for the PVA-MU Cares model. So it's our test to run this across the university. So with that, because their goal is to focus on all incoming freshmen, we had to kind of relinquish our freshman population so that there's no conflict there. And they get all of the data for incoming freshmen across the campus. So we shifted to focus on second year students. We're still focusing on the same things: sense of belonging, academic self-efficacy, academic help support, help seeking. And then so for that career readiness model, that is still in place, still focusing on the same thing, making sure that we get our upper level students connected with faculty, connected with staff, alumni. And we've had some of you participate even in the current program, and I really do thank you for that because it's really, really important for the students to actually feel connected. And I want to thank those that kind of came to those meet and greets so that you can actually have the opportunity to actually meet your mentee in person if you hadn't done so already. And so I'm looking to create those opportunities this semester, and especially since this is a rollout across the university, kind of distinguishing the programs as well, because it's called the PVA-MU Pause program, and ours is just peer-to-peer or career mentoring. I haven't really slapped a name on it for Kafner. And so if you have any ideas, let me know. But as it relates to our career readiness mentorship, right now for our junior, senior, graduate level students, we have 143 mentees. So 143 of our students are actively participating in that career mentor program right now. We have 63 faculty, staff, or alumni that are currently mentors to our students. So my goal is to grow this a lot more, but I need more mentors to participate. I need the word to get out to our students that this program is available in our college and they should take advantage of it. So that's where we are. Students that are juniors and seniors, here is the QR code for you to join if you are a junior, senior, or graduate level student, okay? So that is the QR code for you to join. And all you have to do is kind of sign in and then it'll cue you for the next steps, right? And then our sophomore students, the one that's on the right sophomore, and transfer students, this is the QR code for you to tap into. Okay, we want to get you connected. We want you to kind of understand what this program does. We're going to have even more opportunities for you to connect with the college. We have some exciting events coming up within the college, like our CAFNA Roundup, where you would actually have the opportunity to see what the college offers. So, great opportunity. And then for faculty, staff, and alumni, you can tap in as well. This is the QR code for you. So if you're interested in being a mentor, and I know that we have such busy schedules, really, really busy schedules, but if you are interested in seeing how you can make an impact, and you never know who you will connect with. It's amazing to see how students actually connect with people they didn't think that they would connect with. Because when I see the pairing, I'd be like, huh, I wouldn't have thought. But it's not for me to think. I don't know what your likes or interests are, but you do. So the good thing about this program is that it does that. I'm not doing it for you. You know, someone you may feel is a good mentor to you may not necessarily be able to answer or fulfill everything, but maybe someone that you least expect would be a really great advocate and mentor for you. So faculty, staff, alumni, and even industry leaders can participate in this program. And that's the end of my presentation. Are y'all any questions?
Great presentation with lots of information. And we open the floor here for questions and comments. Any question or comments? You have one? I didn't have to go far.
Dr. Sanders, thank you for the very meaningful and insightful presentation. This is a very exciting program, and I have a very technical question on this part. This program is handling a lot of sensitive data.
Mhm.
And how do you control that? Because the way that you present this program, it explores a lot of opportunities to improve our college, but it also comes with certain risks, and that's sharing sensitive data.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious to see how that data is accesses, who has access to that information, and how the data is protected. Because again, this is treated as medical records pretty much. I mean, the fact that you're sharing so much sensitive data could have some concerns. So that's some of the.
Well, the type of data that is being shared is, I wouldn't say necessarily surface level data, because it's an idea of what is happening with the student. I just kind of gave you scenarios of what our students experience. And Mentor Collective has proven to be the platform that encrypts and covers this data, right? So it's not easily accessible to anyone except for administrators and those connected to the Mentor Collective brand. So even with the rollout for this program across the university, of course it had to be vetted, right? Because we're talking about student data. And that was done prior to. And so I was able to share what we've done to, within the college and through the connection of these other land-grant universities to make sure that our students are protected. So the sensitive data only comes from really what is shared by the student and possibly the red flags. But the red flags or the flags are still specific to just a title. No one has the in-depth information of what is happening with the student.
And I'm sure you have an approved IRB protocol also, so in place, so that make sure that is done. So I guess we have some active chat here, so we would like to see when will you be assigned mentee? Can we be assigned out of our college? Can we request mentee if we are currently mentoring students? Can you please address those questions?
Sure. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for your question. So when you go through that matching survey, or when you actually complete the survey to want to be a mentor, periodically the program or the platform, Mentor Collective, will go in and then begin matching. Right now it's open. So it's almost like open for registration for our mentees, for our mentors. And then I'll say, hey, all right, let's go ahead and match these. Let's start the matching process. So once they start the matching process, if the mentee has completed the survey and the mentor as well, then we're able to kind of move forward, right? Now the matching happens, and then the mentor will be notified when they have a mentee on their dashboard. So it's a matter of creating that account, doing the survey.
Thank you. Interesting presentation. Thanks for all your work on this. It's really important. Question, you talked about all the ways they could connect. How do students want to connect? You talked about Zooms and chats, and I'm just curious how they want to connect this generation. Yeah. Okay.
Very simple, very easy.
Typical, huh?
That's it.
Good.
Instagram, now they incorporate social media. They want to connect on social media. So we see that increasing a lot more. Or what is it, X, Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at her. So she's, yeah.
We have a question here?
Okay, thank you for the presentation. I want to ask, do you consider faculty as peer mentors? If not, what will be the requirement for a student who want to volunteer to become a mentor for Phil?
For what?
I mean, follow, or what are the requirements for a peer mentor?
Oh, you mentioned the peer program. So are you talking about the peer-to-peer, or are you talking about the career?
The peer-to-peer.
So for faculty to be a part of the peer, we don't encourage that because it's that connection with the upper level students to that population, which is our sophomore transfer students for this semester. Our faculty for the career students is where that focus would come in. So as a junior, senior, graduate level student, the faculty members would be your mentor. Did I answer your question? Because I think
Andrew's asking what is the requirements for like a graduate student to be a mentor in the peer-to-peer?
Oh, yes. So then you would just sign up as a mentor for the sophomore transfer level students. So there is an opportunity for that. You can do that, to be a mentor to the peer program.
Any
That
other
answer your-
question?
Oh, no requirements. All you have to do is do the survey. Nope, nothing like that. I was like, did I answer?
To the back.
Do you offer any like training or advice for like, say a grad student wants to be a peer mentor?
Yes, so the process is just going through and completing the survey. And then once you do the survey, it's going to prompt you to do the training.
Okay.
So there's like a maybe 10 to 15-minute training just to kind of get you started, get an understanding of the dashboard and all of that. And then additional trainings come after that. So it's really self-paced for the mentor to kind of understand the dashboard, understand the resources that they have, and then they can kind of move forward from there. And then when issues arrive and they want to send up a flag, then as the administrator, I will go in and I'll contact you as the mentor and say, hey, how did you handle this? You have any questions before reaching back out to the student? Like I can coach you also. I get a feel for what the student is thinking, and then I give them a little bit of, whoop, sorry. I give them a little bit of additional information to give to the student. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Sanders. I also would like to thank our community. Look at this participation as well as the online. This makes my day. Thank you all. So first off, this is a phenomenal idea because humans by nature are geared towards making a positive impact. Your legacy, your impact, all are very well addressed over here. I have always welcomed by my teachers, Dr. Sanders, as well as other communities and wherever I worked on, attended school. So it seems to me that in addition to sense of belonging, this program also is a very effective way for welcoming cultural collegiality. That kind of inspired me that could work for employees as well. You know, why not for employees? So how do you incorporate culture of welcoming environment, culture of yeah, so something that will appeal students to come to class and stay on campus with the community rather than take the class and leave campus. So kind of broader sense. I'm curious how you're going to do those and how you're going to measure the impact actually eventually both for mentees and mentors? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Dr. Memoli. And I'm glad you asked that because with this rollout across the campus, that is the question that came up. So now that we're rolling this out across the university, how can we measure what our students are doing, beyond this college? And then how can we ensure, again, them staying connected and feeling wanted and involved? And so with that, I started the meet and greets because I saw the need. I felt like a disconnect, right? They're like, how do I know how these students are feeling? I need to hear from the students. And I like being in the classroom setting because it just opens that opportunity for us to have an open discussion. And so I think for this program, the need for more and more interactions with the students is going to be very, very important. So if we can kind of create those avenues where our students can come, they connect, they wear their shirts, there's some incentives. Students like to eat. So if we're providing that opportunity for them to eat or mingle, have some engaging teamwork activities and things like that, that will help support the program and broaden their perspective. And within those programs or those gatherings, we're talking about culture or those things that we're wanting to really drive home, right? So we just create the environment and then add in the other stuff that we're wanting the students to get from it. I think it's a great approach to that.
We're gonna go online for another question or two. I guess what other units are involved on campus? The other question is, did I hear you that it's open to students in other colleges? Also, what if you are upperclassmen and didn't know about this program, but now that you have knowledge, can you still join as mentee? Please revisit how to join as mentees.
As a mentee or mentor?
I think mentees.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So this program within the college is only offered for the College of Ag because it's a part of the 1890s Center of Excellence in Workforce Development. So it was focused on all agriculture colleges within those universities. So for our faculty and staff that are interested, you can still participate as a mentor to receive a mentee that you could work with. And so it is still open. This is the new academic year, so we start over every single year. Some mentors and mentees continue in the program, and we see that. We had a lot to graduate out for fall and spring, and even some in the summer. So as we do this every single year, we just make those adjustments and then come back to it. So Ms. Tony, yes, you can still join. I will send the information out to Kedra's unit to share the sign-up links for everyone to kind of opt in and be a part of the program.
We have one last question here from the audience. I think it's getting close to lunchtime.
So there's a question of, we were thinking about adding the honors program, who is we? So the honors program came into play for the rollout across campus. So we, meaning that administrative team, which is the Office of Student Success I'm working with.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to make a comment. Thank you for setting this up. I mean, it's obviously very important. I wanted to just kind of piggyback on what Dr. Memoli said is, measuring like their activities. I also know that the city of Prairie View is looking for ways to encourage positive activities, amongst the youth, right? More opportunities for recreation and, just things that are healthy and, encourage wellness amongst the students. So as it rolls out on campus, that might be an opportunity to partner with the city itself.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think let's thank our speaker for a great
Thank you all.
and see you next week.
Dr. Beasley raised his hand.
Oh.
Dr. Beasley, I'm
Okay.
working with him on that program.
Sure.
Sorry, Dr. Beasley.
Sure. If you want to take a picture, it's outside, then our camera colleagues are outside waiting for you.
Is it still on? Oh, he just cut it off.
Oh, he wants to say something?
Dr. Beasley is over the program for the university.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, sorry we didn't see him.
Great, Dr.
Thank you.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Very good. Good job.
Huh?
Thank you.
Nice to finally meet you.
Oh, Miss Brown. Okay. It's good to put a name with a face.